Buying foreclosures in America, what you need to know. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's red hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these very tricky times. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up and strap in. I got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows and sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. And folks, we got a good one to talk about today. Some of the emails that I get, some of the questions, some of the comments that I get from most of you are around foreclosures. I mean, listen, friends, everybody wants a deal. I've seen this since the beginning. Since we started reporting that, hey, this is an artificial created housing bubble, you might want to be careful right now. There might be some blowback. We probably should let the dust settle. And there's a good chance we're going to have to pay the piper from all that stimulus money poured into the economy. And we were a little bit prophetic, weren't we? Because these things are now playing out. Remember at the beginning, no, Scott, this time is different. You're right, this time is different. It's worse. My gosh, this is getting absolutely insane. So one of the things I used to read in our comments a lot, and I really want to talk about this today because I think it's very important to understand the dynamic of foreclosures, distressed sales, short sales, REOs, you name it. These are very important. Everybody thinks, yeah, and this was the comment. Let it crash, Scott. Let it crash and burn. I can't wait. I'm going to scoop up some foreclosures. And you'll probably get your wish. I've always said be careful what we wish for, though, because what comes along with foreclosures is an absolutely slammed economy, decimated by a recession, where your friends and family, maybe even us, maybe even you, are going to feel the effects of what happens in a recession. Having lived through the 2008 financial crisis, the biggest housing crash to date that we can pull from other than the Great Depression that I think we have to pay attention to, separate video. Insanity. The realities are, friends, is that when a foreclosure crisis comes, you're going to have a very handicapped economy that comes along with it. And we're due for that. We are absolutely due for that. This economy was propped up prior to the crisis. The crisis was really gasoline on the fire. Unfortunately, depending on how you're looking at it, with runaway inflation and a risen interest rate environment that's shocking these markets, and we're not even halfway through the interest rates needed to get inflation under control, meaning we're at the front end of a recession. I've always said this, right? Tail end of a crisis, front end of a recession. This needs to play out. This is slow-moving real estate. Real estate is the biggest asset class we have. It's going to take a little while to play out. It's not the stock market. It's not the crypto market. It's not your smartphone anymore. This is real estate, tangible assets, land. This is not going to move super quick, but it's probably going to move quicker than we've seen other downturns move because of the acceleration. This was the biggest bubble ever recorded in history in record speeds, and it's reverse course just as fast, actually faster. So foreclosures, one of the things I really wanted to communicate today, friends, I don't know if I would target foreclosures. Like right now, what I would be looking at is stuck on markets, going through price reductions, things like that, because those properties are probably a little better taken care of. Once you get into foreclosures, first of all, you're dealing with the banks. And the banks are just rolling over, giving away homes. Second of all, these homes are hammered, thrashed. Whoever had to walk away from a home does not care about that home. It could be in horrible shape. And you're not going to be able to ask the bank for a credit for repairs and do a bunch of inspections like you would with a traditional sale. It's going to be as is, take it or leave it. We don't care. And the process to get a deal to stick, it's not like you just go write them a check. No, they're going to review it. It's going to take months and months, way longer than a typical transaction. So for me, personally, I would rather, currently what you can be looking at is stuck on markets, those properties going through price reductions, because what I see, and you all know what I see when I see you stuck on the market showing price reductions, the kiss of death means that you have to get off market. You have no choice. Otherwise, you would have pulled the property off the market. So that shows me and we see it from agents all the time. I read them all the time in my inner agent emails. Seller motivated, bring your client, seller motivated, looking at all offers, seller motivated, stuck on the market. They need out. They need out. That is just the realities. So I like stuck on the market, showing price reductions, because that sale has a higher likelihood of closing than a foreclosures. Foreclosures are tricky, my friends, and it's too early for foreclosure. Second, short sales. I'd rather do a short sale because that means the person's still living in the house. They got agent representation, but the agent is taking the offers to the bank and saying, would you like to let my owner out of this house for this short sale? It's short of what they owe, but other than that, our only other option is foreclosure for the client. And the banks know. The banks know if the property goes into foreclosure in a downward trending market, by the time they get their hands on this thing and have to sell it, it's going to be worth even less. So a lot of times you've got a better shot at a deal with a short sale than a foreclosure. Now, listen, not to say that I might not go scoop up a foreclosure in the foreclosure crisis. I just know we're at least a year out from that. So right now what we're seeing, like I said, is what are we seeing? We're seeing stuck on markets and price reductions. You can go negotiate right now on houses stuck on the market going through price reductions. It will require a talented agent that had his head on straight, more than likely, to make those deals stick and be ready to sprinkle some offers around the multiple properties. You've heard me say, I always tell my clients, don't fall in love with anything I show you, because once you fall in love with it, it's a different ball game. You know, we're just writing offers at whatever needs to make this deal stick. But if you want to write offers and get a deal, be prepared to write offers on different properties. Now, a lot of agents, of course, they're spoiled. They don't want to tell you that because they just want to get you sold and get on to the next one and try to get deals. But if an agent's putting your needs before their own, they're willing to earn your business later, do whatever it takes. That's happy customers are repeat customers. That's how we get repeat business. So this spoiled a lot of agents, this euphoria, and a lot of them are having a reality check. A lot are dropping out of the industry. We're going to lose a lot of agents. Second, foreclosures are a ways out. So one of the things we have to understand, if we're waiting foreclosures, we're a ways out. So we'll target these stuck on markets, and potentially what's going to come next before foreclosures, short sales. People, you will start seeing this on the Zillows, on the Realtor.coms, on the Redfins, wherever you're searching properties. You're going to see where you see price reductions now posted next to those properties that you're looking at on the internet or whatever search engine you're on. You're going to see distressed sale, short sale, REO, and then eventually, last but not least, foreclosure. You might see some clickbait from these companies like Zillow. Like I said, they're probably going to start trying to sell clickbait services of pre-foreclosure, or click here for a list of foreclosures. Don't click, just watch this channel. In final thoughts, I do come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life, getting your head on straight, understanding the realities of what's going on out here, the waters that we're swimming in. The realities are, every single housing bubble ever produced, regardless of how it was produced, has always ended in some form of a correction, recession, or a full-blown depression. You take your pick. I don't know which one's coming. I know one of them is in fact coming because we're already in a correction. Next, if we can't stop it, we will enter into a recessionary level of a downturn reflected in prices. And third will be a full-blown depressionary level like we haven't seen in our lifetime that is probably due. We'll have to wait and monitor the health of this housing market to get a good read on if and when it's coming. But one of the things I really want to remind people right now, sometimes if you're holding out for foreclosures, foreclosures aren't always the best deal. It's tricky. We'll talk about more as we enter in closer to when this unfolds. Right now, those stuck on markets are probably the best, if you're out there shopping, the best properties to target with a good agent. If you appreciate the content, I do want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media links are in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you're interested in buying or selling real estate here in America, I have a network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It would be our absolute honor and privilege to do so. There's an email in the description for you as well. If you got any use out of this video or any of my videos, there's a super thanks button that you can use, and I would certainly appreciate that. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count. I'll see you on the next video.